Man has hunted since the beginning of time. What began with crude weapons and animal images scrawled on cave walls has developed into a multi-million-dollar industry. From the Tilton Hiltons to the mansions in the marsh, we hunt and we cook. Everything from rabbits and raccoons to deer and ducks, while learning about the passion of sportsmen through the ages. Man's love affair with hunting is really not about the kill, but how to prepare a sumptuous wild game banquet after the hunt. Now get that camouflage apron and join me, Chef John Folse, for another Taste of Louisiana.
Funding for After the Hunt with Chef John Folse is brought to you by the Baton Rouge Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Day is dawning on the Mississippi River and the sun is shining on Baton Rouge. Attractions, shopping, food, and Southern hospitality you know and love. Go BR and go brighter. And the Foundation for Excellence in Louisiana Public Broadcasting. Our mission is to tell Louisiana's story to the world. And by the Louisiana Department of Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. Vacation planning guides are available at louisianatravel.com. You wait all year for your vacation. Don't sleep through it.
So much for joining us today in Sportsman's Paradise for another edition of A Taste of Louisiana. I'm so delighted to have all of you here in the studio audience today, as well as all of the viewers from around the country sitting at home and saying, what are they doing down there in Louisiana anyway? I'd like to introduce our kitchen band today, Donna and Neil Wilkinson, who's going to provide all of the music for us in the kitchen while we cook. How y'all doing over there? Wonderful. Good, good. Aren't they great, huh? We love having y'all in the studio. Thank you so much. Thank you. You know, I'm a native son, y'all, of the swamps and marshes of Louisiana, and I grew up eating everything imaginable. If it swam, you know what I'm talking about. If it crawled, if it slithered, we ate it. And you know, weekends and weeknights were often spent at hunting camps with family and friends, my dad, my grandfathers, cooking up all of these fantastic game dishes. But we weren't the first folks to hunt or to have game laws. You know, we have some pretty restrictive laws today, which is really good. But over 1,000 years ago, William the Conqueror enforced severe hunting laws. His laws stated that whoever killed a deer, whoever killed a wild boar, or even a rabbit on his land should have their eyes torn out. Oh yeah, serious stuff. I know some game wardens like that today, some game wardens today, right? Anyway, y'all, eventually the rabbit portion of that harsh law was relaxed, and rabbit quickly became a staple of the table. Today, we're going to learn about falconry, a form of hunting it's an ancient sport that's still practiced today by a special breed of hunters. Falconry, a noble and chivalrous sport of the emperor's court, has changed little since its earliest days.
We think it's about 4,000 years old, or even older. The first evidence that we have is from Persia and from Central Asia and on into China.
Falconry climaxed in Asia during the reign of Genghis Khan, who ordered his people to hunt regularly, as hunting was a training ground for war. Under Genghis Khan, falconry came under the Ministry of War, with falconers serving as his bodyguards. Although falconry was known in Europe as early as the 3rd century, it gained popularity after the Crusades.
It's kind of interesting, the European version of falconry is different than the traditional Arabian or Persian form of the sport. And that's attributed to different species of hawks being used and a different countryside in which they're used from.
By the Middle Ages, falconry was the sport of nobility, and falconry training was part of a nobleman's education. The practice of falconry includes hunting with a wide variety of birds, falcons of course, but also hawks and buzzards.
And there's several species of falcons in this country. The peregrine falcon is well known. Gyr falcon is a large, white, beautiful falcon. Around here, commonly we see kestrels, also called sparrowhawks, but it's actually a falcon, a small falcon.
Most true falcons need large open spaces to hunt.
So the hawks follow you from tree to tree, and they keep an eye on you, and they look a little bit ahead of you where the rabbits are moving. And so you watch the hawks, and the hawks watch you, and it's kind of a joint effort.
In his book, In Season, A Louisiana Falconer's Journal, Matthew Mullenix describes keeping his Harris hawk fit by hunting unmowed vacant lots in scrub in search of an occasional rabbit, bird, or other prey.
This is a swamp rabbit. In Louisiana, that would be swamp rabbits and cottontails, quail, squirrels, very popular quarry, also ducks and rails, moorhen. Basically anything that's legal, small game, legal to hunt.
In Louisiana, there are restrictions on what type of hawks or falcons may be captured or trained and when. Falconers must pass a written test on rules as well as on the biology and care of raptors, plus the bird's housing is inspected by wildlife officials.
It's a 100-question test. Generally multiple choice, and it covers the biology of the birds, it covers the husbandry of the bird, and it covers the making of the equipment. As a young person in this country, you need to apprentice yourself to an older falconer, someone who's been practicing the sport for about 2 years.
Both hunting and falconry permits are required, as well as a breeder's permit. Plus, falconers must possess a little leather tie for the falcon's legs, a leash, and a padded perch and a scale for regular weighing.
Well, we call it the falconer's furniture. It's the equipment that goes on the hawk, and you can't tell from my crude equipment here that I make myself, but there is an entire art to making falconry furniture, and even today there are artisans who make beautiful leather hoods that go over the hawk's heads, make brass bells that are worn on their legs so that we can keep track of them, and then these leather jesses and the swivels that we use to restrain the hawk when we don't want them hunting.
While most of us find easier ways to hunt, there's no doubt that these raptors are spectacular birds in flight, and that falconers are a special breed of hunters. While all of this was being done, Ernie right here was just getting really, I don't know whether Ernie was getting upset with my rabbit or the picture of the other hawks of himself in the camera. Y'all, I want to introduce Matthew Mullenix. Not only is he and Ernie the reason we're here today with the rabbit, but also the rabbit dish is from your wife.
Yeah.
Right? Pretty good cook?
Great cook. Born and raised in Miami, and had never seen the inside of a rabbit until she met me. So.
Well, you know, I had a bird once. You know, I had a bird similar to this. No, well, not quite similar to this. Mine was a parakeet. You know, his name was Alcatraz. He stayed locked up all the time.
Yep,
you know, but
yep.
But anyway, I could never just put him on my hand like that, because the one time I tried, out the window. Out he went. I never saw him again. He was probably part of what Ernie ate.
It's very possible.
How many people are actually falcon hunting today in Louisiana?
In Louisiana, probably about 100.
About 100.
About 100.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about seasons, how they go, and I also want to talk about. You know, I heard the birds are part of the family, right?
They're part of the family.
I
Yeah,
bet-
it's
I
a
bet
strange
they are.
family, but they're part of it.
Well, here, look, a beautiful bird, no doubt about that. I enjoyed hunting with them, that's for sure. Anyway, y'all, just very quickly, the dish that we're going to do today is this wonderful rabbit dish, and again, it's from your wife. And what I have here, I've taken the rabbit and I've cut it into about 8 pieces. I'm going to season it nicely like this, and I realize that there's some other great folks right here I'm going to introduce in just a minute. But I'm going to put a little granulated garlic, pepper, all of that wonderful stuff, even a little touch of cayenne, right? You want a little flavor in there. I have some milk here in the bowl, and I'm going to add some egg to it just very quickly and kind of whisk that around. And then I'm going to put the rabbit down in it. Now, you can actually lighten this up by using skim milk and even using egg substitute, somebody will say, because we're frying it, and a lot of people say, frying, maybe we should cut back a little bit. But this is a really, now do you serve this with any particular side dishes? Because it seems to be more of a just very simple camp dish that you would eat right off the bone.
Eat it hot. Yeah, cold to beat a beer. I mean, it's about the only side dish we use.
Cold beer, that's all you need, right? Okay, now we have some seasoned breadcrumbs here. I use seasoned Italian breadcrumbs here, y'all. I'm going to just throw it right into the, I'm going to throw some herbs in, a little basil, a little thyme, a little tarragon, kind of mix that up. And also, I'm going to season this as well. Now, the seasoning, of course, is to taste. So whatever the cook would want to do. I'm going to put just a little bit extra spice. I don't want it too hot because already people think Louisianians eat too hot. Now, rabbit is one of these wonderful seasonal dishes, very nice white meat, very lean, and adapts well to a lot of different cooking techniques. You can saute it, you can grill it. It's really a beautiful meat. And I'm going to just take a couple of pieces here and go right into the breading, just a couple of these nice legs. And while I'm doing that, a little bit of our vegetable oil will go right into this skillet. And I want to make sure this is, by the way, this is my old Model A oil bottles. You've seen these from the 1900s. They're fantastic. Anyway, so now the leg of rabbit just nice and covered with the seasoned Italian breadcrumbs, a really nice, wonderful flavor. And I'm going to kind of put those in like that. Now, tell me about the bird's living conditions at home. They stay in the house in a cage? Is he free like that?
No, he stays outside in a big 20-foot by 10-foot pen, and comes in every night to keep him in out of the rain.
Yeah. And pretty calm, though, because he came and sat on kind of perched on my arm. I didn't have any problems with him. Now, while the rabbit is cooking right here, I thought, can I feed him?
If you take the spice off your hands.
Yeah, I'm going to take all the spice off my hands. Okay, here, y'all, I have rabbit. I have rabbit right here. Arnie, you ready? Look at that, huh? Isn't that fantastic? He doesn't even need it breaded in breadcrumbs or nothing else. One more little piece, Arnie. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
There you go.
I had to cover this because Arnie was going crazy a minute ago wanting to get to it. Now, y'all, the rabbit is very simple. You just brown it like this. It's just a pan fried. You can take it off of the bone if you want to. The seasonings, you can use a multitude of them. It doesn't really matter. The recipe came from your wife, but it's something she created or just something was in the family?
It's something that we eat with chicken generally.
Oh, yeah. Well, just a good chicken fry, exactly. And rabbit, perfect for this because it's so mild. And October to, I guess, February in Louisiana, we have rabbit available to us. Now, look in this skillet right here because this is the one that's already done. It's been sauteing just a couple of minutes. I'm going to put a little parsley on it like that. I'm going to put a little squeeze of lemon right on top of it. And I'm going to serve it. I would serve it with a little bit of this beautiful remoulade sauce right here. But any nice spicy ketchup would go good, or just walking down the highway eating it off of the bone, right?
That's right.
Well, y'all, that's the first dish we're going to do today. Now, Zeke, the master hunter, rabbit hunter, Zeke actually invited me out to one of the hunting camps, a beautiful hunting camp in near Donaldsonville, and we went out hunting rabbits and came back, and you showed me how to cook your favorite dish. So, y'all, let's take a look at that.
You cut me off.
Zeke, I don't want to hear that story. Let's go cook rabbit. Right. I heard that story before.
All right, man. Let's go.
So Zeke, you're the pro when it comes to rabbit cooking, and you told me this morning about the breading, the flouring a little bit with plain flour, right? Salt, pepper, garlic, and then browned it perfectly. And this is the rabbit from the hunt this morning. So how does it look?
Looks great. Looks real good.
Is that the kind of browning you look for?
Yes, indeed. We're about ready for the seasoning.
Yeah, just about. So this is so we have the color in it right now. Just saute it in a little bit of oil, and the color right there is going to give the color the final gravy, right?
Right.
And the seasoning with the flour that's on it is going to help thicken this. So this is just a good rabbit stew.
Good.
Good. So, okay, so now, what you want first? There you go. You stir, I'm going to pour, okay? So our onions first, right? Now we're just using a diced onion here. We're going to come on in and celery, just as you said, a little bit bell pepper. Now Zeke, this is with the rabbits that y'all got today. This is pretty good rabbit country, pretty good rabbit season.
Oh, it's great, man. Got all of good cover, and we're going to do real good when we.
Yep. So
we have to hit it again.
Man, that looks beautiful in there with all that. Now garlic, the more the better. Or,
put a little extra.
Little bit. Okay, I'm gonna put it all in there. All right.
Yeah, you go.
What about? Okay, so we got all that in, and then I'm gonna come in, and the tomatoes go next, right?
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna put the tomatoes in, and then there you go, the tomatoes. Now this is a little Rotel tomatoes, which has a little spice in it, which is going to give it more of that little sauce piquant flavor, right?
Right.
Okay, now this comes to a nice rolling boil. This is a smothered rabbit with mushrooms. Now you use wild mushrooms sometimes out of the woods.
Yeah, off of a willow tree.
The good oyster mushrooms.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the one from the store, so I'm going to put them in there. And of course the mushrooms, I love what you said about the mushrooms picking up all of the flavor of the gravy. It just kind of sucks it all up and it becomes really, really nice. So with that, all I guess I have to do now is put in the stock, right? Now you can use stock, water.
Wine even.
You use light red wine, you told me, which I think would be just really great. Yeah. So this is going to come to a rolling boil. How long is this going to cook, you think, to get tender?
About an hour and a half, I would recommend. We could just check it about an hour and a half.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm lucky because we have some done already. How do you like it?
Oh, it looks great, man.
Doesn't it look beautiful?
Great.
Well, let this cook right here, and let's get these guys fed.
All right.
Good.
Y'all ready to eat, fellas?
We got it done. All right, everybody, that was it. That was really a great, great day of hunting. The weather was just perfect. And hunting season, Zeke, between October, I said October, and February.
Through February.
In Louisiana, right?
End of February,
Yeah.
last day of February.
But make sure you check all of your hunting seasons in your own area because they do change, and wildlife and fishers will help you out with that. But that was beautiful. Now, what kind of rabbits do we have in Louisiana? People say, well, they have the big hair and the wild hair in Texas, but ours is the what?
The swamp rabbit and the cottontail, basically, but mostly we hunt swamp rabbit.
Swamp rabbit, that's just a bigger rabbit than the cottontail, more meaty?
It goes up to 5 pounds, I guess.
Now, I understood just now when you were watching Ernie hunt that you hunt with beagles, right?
Yeah,
Beagle dogs?
I'm getting rid of them.
All you have to do is this, and Ernie will go get it for you, right?
Ernie's easier to feed than those 13 beagles.
Anyway, we're going to make gumbo now. This is a typical camp cook dish, right? I mean, when the camp cooks meat, they're measured by the wild game gumbo, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yes. Yeah, most definitely.
Now, where would you rank yourself in 1 to 10 on a rabbit gumbo?
way up
I would say 10, y'all. I would say 10. I wouldn't even think about it. Come on, Zeke. Huh?
About an 8, I guess. My daughter's number 1, but I'm an 8.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, y'all, let me tell you what I have in my pot here. We're going to begin at the beginning because in Louisiana, when we cook gumbo, it has to begin with the roux. And when you look at this dark, beautiful chocolate-colored roux, all it is, it begins right here. It begins with equal parts of oil and flour. And then we cook it to about 390 degrees until we get that beautiful chocolate color in it that not only thickens our gumbos, flavors our gumbos with that beautiful pecan flavor, and of course it colors the gumbo. A light gumbo, we don't eat it. We walk away from it. Nothing personal. It's got to have the right color, right, Zeke?
Right.
We're not fooling around with it. Okay, so right here we have our roux going really nice. Now let's take a look at the gumbo. Gets its name from this little vegetable right here. The okra plant. When African slaves arrived in America, they brought with them the seeds of this beautiful plant. And in the Congolese and Senegalese language, it's called guimi gumbo or kin gumbo. That's the name of this vegetable that we call okra. And it made its way into many of the African cast iron pots and eventually thickened our gumbo as well. And that's where the name comes from, the okra plant of Africa. But to make a gumbo, you need your typical seasonings: onion, celery. I got 3 bell peppers here. I have the beautiful red and yellow. Not that it changes the flavor, it just looks so beautiful in the pot. Garlic, a lot of it, right, Zeke?
Right.
Got to have a lot of garlic. I put bay leaves in mine, and of course that andouille sausage. I want y'all to look at this, because this is one of the greatest mysteries in Louisiana cooking. The different types of sausages that we use. We have the pecan wood smoked sausage. This is what you would find in most American grocery stores. This is a much lighter smoked sausage, but we need heavy smoke. This is the andouille, and I want to show you the andouille here. The andouille is a really thick piece of sausage. It's a chopped pork seasoned with garlic, salt, and pepper inside of a beef middle casing. This is the beef casing with pork on the inside, smoked over pecan wood for about 7 hours. It's fully cooked, delicious, and gives a heavy smoked flavor to our soups. So I'm going to go into the dish right now, into my cast iron pot. I've cooked this roux for about, I guess about 10, 15 minutes to give it the right color. I'm going to put in my onions, celery, bell pepper. I have to put in a lot of garlic too. I love garlic in the cooking. So I'm going to throw that into the pot and stir that around just a little bit. And of course my roux is extremely hot, y'all. This, you can see the smoke. It's very, very hot, and I love that color going into the pot as well. Now I've made a little stock using some of the rabbit bones from a previous hunt, and it's always better to go with a stock. But of course you can buy stock in the stores today, or you can buy some of the bases in the grocery stores to make a stock, or use water, because the meat will certainly contribute to it. Zeke, what makes a good camp cook? Is it the storytelling, or is it the roux making?
The roux making. About equal.
I thought it was the storytelling, huh? Is it?
I think it's about equal.
It's about. Now, how is a camp cook selected? Because that's the premier position in the hunting camp, is the cook, right?
I guess the one that brags the most about how good.
Well, I would win. I would win that. Okay, I put my andouille sausage in here because now the andouille is going to give me that wonderful smoked flavor. Now I'm going to put all my rabbit in. Y'all with me? Y'all follow me here. This is fast. I'm going to put the rabbit in. So I made my roux, onion, celery, bell pepper, garlic. Now I'm going to smother my rabbit down in it with my smoked sausage. I think you get the idea. I'm going to come into this little pot here. I have my stock. Remember we were talking about that stock a minute ago? Let me grab this hot handle here. This is a hot handle. I'm going to go in with my rabbit stock. And I always use hot stock because I want the pot to continue to cook. If I put cold stock in it, naturally it's going to stop cooking, and then I have to bring it back up to heat again. So when people say, do you use hot stock or water? Look how that thing, you think this is cooking or what? This is real cooking. This is the real thing going on in this pot. Now, I would let this cook until the rabbit starts to tenderize, and then I would add the oysters. What about Aaron? He likes oysters?
No.
I bet. Oyster, andouille, and rabbit gumbo, nothing like it. I'm going to put those in. Oh, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
You put oysters in a gumbo in a camp when you have a really special guest coming.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you don't cook this you don't put oysters for the regular crowd.
Not for them hungry folks.
Not for just those regular hungry cooks coming in. Y'all, I'm going to cook this just for about 30 to 40 minutes. Of course, I'm going to season it with a little salt, a little pepper, a little cayenne. I have some nice herbs here, a little basil and thyme normally in our cooking as well. How would I serve it? Right here over a nice pot of steamed white rice, normally in a big bowl, depending. A pot of gumbo like this will serve, maybe about 15 or 20 folks, maybe about 4 or 5 good Cajuns or Creoles, right? About 4 this is the pot. Anyway, y'all, so I would just serve that over rice. I'm going to serve y'all some in just a little bit. But y'all, this is just really good camp cooking. And I want to thank all of you for joining us in the swamps of Louisiana. And remember, y'all, our love affair with hunting is never about the kill or the skill. It's about the fabulous feast after the hunt. And y'all, we're going to see you right here in the kitchen on our next Taste of Louisiana. We're eating rabbit gumbo.
To purchase the After the Hunt cookbook by Chef John Folse, an After the Hunt t-shirt, or program DVD, call the number on your screen. Funding for After the Hunt with Chef John Folse is brought to you by the Baton Rouge Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, Day is dawning on the Mississippi River and the sun is shining on Baton Rouge. Attractions, shopping, food, and Southern hospitality you know and love. Go BR and go brighter. And the Foundation for Excellence in Louisiana Public Broadcasting. Our mission is to tell Louisiana's story to the world. And by the Louisiana Department of Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. Vacation planning guides are available at louisianatravel.com. You wait all year for your vacation. Don't sleep through it.